Hey, my name's Thomas. Thanks for clicking on this video. It's a lot. I've got my M5 here. I want to show you a little bit of the process that I've been going through over the last couple weeks. I've been refinishing my interior. It's caramel leather. If you have an E39 M5, you know how bad the interior can get. This caramel leather just wears, it cracks. It's beautiful when it's perfect, but this car has 180,000 miles, so it gets pretty bad. I don't want to be that guy that makes you have to watch 10 minutes, 20 minutes of me refinishing these seats before you can see the final product. So here you go. Sorry, the lighting's not perfect. This is the passenger seat. This is the first one I did. Had a lot less wear than the driver's seat. I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And let me walk over to the driver's seat here. And this is the driver's seat I just finished. This is the product I used. It's called Leather X, your prescription for restoration. When you order this, he custom matches it to a caramel interior. I think he has it, or he at least has a sample. It matches my interior perfectly, the parts that aren't worn. I mean, you can see, I don't know if it's gonna come up well, but I have not started refinishing this, but you can see the color difference. But any of the leather that I've seen in my car that doesn't have sun damage, hasn't been worn. I have an extended leather car, so some of the under dash leather looks identical to this color. So super happy with the color match. Sorry I don't have a more beautiful setup, but here's the process. First step, clean it. Second step, sand down the leather. Third step, filler. That goes in all the cracks. You'll see further along in the video. Next step, adhesion promoter. That's the stuff that goes on so the color sticks. Spray on the color. Yes, rattle can. Really does come out like that. Step 6, seal. That's the final matte finish that you get that looks as close to OEM as I've seen. Last thing, and the best thing about this kit, it's $200. That's crazy. I feel like that's such a good deal. And I say that before I do a plug and say use my code and get $10 off, but it's a good deal. And the reason why I have a code is because I like the product so much, and I'm probably gonna use it on literally every car I own. All right, so here we go. I'm starting on the driver's seat. I'm going to use the sandpaper that was included in the kit. It starts with 220, goes all the way up to 1,000. And what I do is I just go up to these spots that you can see all the cracks, just kind of lightly sandpaper. This was really scary the first time, but just lightly sandpaper over it. Just trying to smooth it out. I'm gonna go back and repair these cracks after. Obviously the driver's seat is way worse, but just started sanding. Wanted to show the condition. Being up this close, I didn't realize how bad it was. But start with 220. who knows, this might be terrible technique, but what I've been doing is feeling over it, feel all these bumps and scratches, and then taking a little bit of sandpaper, going over it. And the goal is to get, let me get my angle here, there we go. The goal is that once you're done sanding, it's smooth to the touch, and then I'll fill in, here, let me get it off here. There we go. So I want all these areas where you see the cracks, I'll fill those in, but you want it to be smooth. So this is what the seat looks like after the 220 and the 500. I'm gonna do a wipe down, and then I'm gonna start doing the filler. So it's pretty smooth. There's still some spots that I'm gonna use the filler on. I need to clean that up a little bit more. You can see some of the big cracks smoothed over them. You still can really feel them, but that's what the filler is gonna be for. All right, I already started the process, but using this filler here, it's already dyed close to the caramel color, but take a little bit, go down here, fill in the cracks. Not putting a lot of pressure on it. It really depends on how cracked and how bad your leather is. Like on mine, most of the spots aren't that bad, but up here on the bolsters, you can see there's some really bad areas that you can push pretty, I don't want to say pretty hard, but I pushed pretty hard and it filled in really well. Down here, same thing. Put a little bit on, scrape it off, and then I'm gonna sand down afterwards and knock off a bunch of the excess that I have. All right, so I just applied the adhesion promoter. Everything's sanded down, should be pretty smooth. And what the adhesion promoter does is it makes it so the paint sticks, obviously. And once that's dyed, I can actually start spraying the color. Wanted you to see a close-up of the first coat that I did. This is when the first time I did this, I was very nervous, very scared of what was going to happen. It has to dry still, but that's what it looks like after that first coat, until it dries. I thought I didn't clean it well enough. I thought, oh no, this coat is gonna look awful. But just give it some time, a couple more coats. The one thing I have noticed is that after a little bit of use, the tip, or whatever you want to call this, gets a little bit of paint in it. Just want to make sure and clean that out. Oh, so that's the end, and you see that. Oh boy. Clean that off. Okay. Sometimes you do get some globs or some other random stuff, and it comes up pretty well. Let this dry. I'm on coat number 3, I think. But I started to notice that there's still some major cracking over here and up here. So I contacted the guy from LeatherX. He said that after you use the spray, it's completely fine to go back, sand it down a little bit more and fill it. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm trying to fix up some of these places where there's still some cracking now. You're not gonna get rid of all the cracks, but I felt like those were major enough that I could get that out. So let's see some progress. Oh, of course, shadow. Filled in some more of the cracks. Not perfect, sanded it down. Just put on the, whatever it's called, the applicator stuff that makes the dye stick. So you can see I filled in these areas that were pretty bad. I don't know if I did it well enough, but we'll see.